Okay, let me now discuss remote code execution via file upload. Here is the story. Let's assume that we are going to upload a file test.jpg. It ends with JPG, so this is an image and it will just be displayed in the web application, right? So this is very intuitive and I believe very clear. Let's continue our story. Let's assume that we are going to upload a file test.php.jpg. And well, what we've got here is the file that ends with JPG. So we can say, well, it will also be displayed because this is still an image. It ends with JPG, right? So what's the point in discussing this example? Well, it's not always going to be displayed. And that's the point here. And that's the reason why I'm going to discuss it right now. This file may be displayed and may be executed. And we are really interested, we hackers, we are interested in the execution of this file, right? Because if this file is going to be executed, then we can provide our own code inside, right? And once this is executed, we've got a remote code execution. And this is really counterintuitive for you right now, because I'm telling you that the file ends with .jpg and somehow it can be executed. How is that possible? It's possible, please believe me, and when you carry on listening and watching this video, it will be more and more clear for you, okay? So let's continue our considerations. So the file test.php.jpg will be displayed when setHandler is used to handle PHP files. And now it's a bit mysterious. What's that? What's the setHandler? Let me explain it to you. In PHP, so one of the most widespread technologies in the world, we've got two handlers that are used to handle PHP files. One of them is setHandler. And when the setHandler is used, then the file test.php.jpg will be just displayed, okay? So when the setHandler is used, then everything works according to our intuition. And the intuition is like this: file ends with JPG, so it will be displayed, okay? But it works this way, provided that setHandler is used. But there is another handler, and it's called addHandler. And in the case of addHandler, it works very much differently. Let me read this sentence. Test.php.jpg will be executed when addHandler is used to handle PHP files. Now, it's really cool from the attacker's point of view, because we've got a file that ends with JPG, so it looks like it's an image, it will be just displayed, but in case of addHandler, it will be executed. Very nice. addHandler is trying to find if there is .php somewhere in the name of the file. So it doesn't look at the very end of the file, it tries to find out .php somewhere in the name of the file. And if .php is, found somewhere in the name of the file, then this file is executed, not displayed, right? So this is really counterintuitive, because we've got a file with JPG extension, and now due to the nature of addHandler, it will be actually executed. It's very counterintuitive. We don't expect something like this, but it can happen. And I will tell you even more. You can find addHandler on default in your, configuration file. I don't mean here that the developer is going to change it. I'm discussing right now default installs. Some installs have setHandler on default, and some other installs have addHandler on default. And if you are not aware of this kind of stuff, then, well, the attackers can really take advantage of their knowledge and they can launch remote code execution via file upload, provided that @handler is used in your config file. So you really have to be aware of this, and I do recommend you to go to the config file and check whether @handler or sethandler is used in your environment, right? And this is really, really risky, and not only because this is remote code execution attack, but also due to the fact that developers are just focused on the application layer. So they are just focused on the code, not very much on the config files and stuff like that. They assume that the config has to be secure on default and stuff like that. Very rarely they go inside and check the handlers that are used to handle PHP files, right? So it makes this attack really exploitable quite often, from the attacker's point of view. Very rarely people are aware of this problem. So I really am going to tell you that you can really find something like this exploitable quite often, which is really cool. Okay, and of course, the assumption here is that, I'm talking about remote code execution. So what you are going to do as an attacker is you are going to provide your own PHP code inside of the file test.php.jpg, right? Because we want our code to be executed once the file has been uploaded. So take the file test.php.jpg, put your own PHP code inside, and once it is uploaded, it will be executed when @handler is used instead of sethandler in the PHP config file. And my PHP configuration file in my environment for PHP 7.0 is here, etc Apache 2 mods enabled PHP 7.0.conf, right? Very popular location, and in a minute you will see how it works in practice. I will be playing with this file. I'm going to show you this behavior of @handler as sethandler in the demo. So yeah, I believe that this is clear for you. And I believe that you agree with me that this counterintuitive nature of @handler is really dangerous and it can be really devastating. And on the other hand, when you've got this knowledge, this attack is really simple, as you will see in the demo. And yeah, this is also great. So without further delay, let me jump to the demo. I believe that everything is clear for you right now, and let me show you how it works in practice.